Most people just dismiss the evidence left behind. But tonight, our investigation begins. What if that familiar, parched, kind of uncomfortable feeling you wake up with isn't just a minor annoyance? What if it's actually a distress signal, a clue your body has been leaving you night after night, pointing to something far more serious happening in the dark? Okay, our investigation begins with this one single, often overlooked clue: a dry mouth when you wake up. It seems harmless, right? But it's the key to unlocking this entire case. So, the official term for our clue is xerostomia, but honestly, the name isn't the important part. What's crucial is what it represents. This dry feeling, it isn't the problem itself. It's more like a calling card, you know? The chalk outline telling us that something went very wrong with your body's defenses during the night. So let's move to the crime scene itself, your mouth. We need to examine the immediate damage and really understand the environment where this all went down. The first thing to know is that at night, your defenses are already down. Your circadian rhythm, which is basically your body's internal clock, it dials down saliva production while you sleep. And saliva is your mouth's natural protector. It's the security guard. So at night, that guard is already kind of half asleep. And this is where the way you breathe changes everything. Nasal breathing is the baseline. It keeps the environment stable and moist. But mouth breathing? That's the break-in. It rapidly dehydrates the mouth, removing what little saliva was left and creating a hostile, unprotected environment. The protective buffer is just gone. And the consequences are pretty severe. With the saliva gone, the pH in your mouth just plummets. This quote from the research, well, it's basically our forensic report. The environment doesn't just become dry, it becomes highly acidic. It's like an acid bath, and it directly leads to dental erosion and cavities. The damage is real, and it is absolutely measurable. So, we have the clue, and we've seen the damage. But how was it inflicted? We really need to understand the mechanics of the event itself. It happens like a domino effect. As you fall into deeper sleep, your jaw muscles relax and your mouth falls open. This lets your tongue fall back towards your throat, which dramatically shrinks the airway. The result is restricted airflow and eventually airway collapse. This is the precise mechanism of the nightly crime. Now, at this point in the investigation, it's really easy to blame mouth breathing. But that's a classic misdirection. Mouth breathing isn't the true culprit. It's actually a desperate attempt to survive. And here is our prime suspect: obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA. This is a serious sleep disorder where your breathing literally stops and starts all night long because your airway is blocked. Your body, struggling for oxygen, forces you to breathe through your mouth. Mouth breathing isn't the choice. It's the only option left. And the evidence linking our clue to our suspect is just overwhelming. I mean, look at these numbers. Only about 3% of people without OSA report waking up with a dry mouth. But for those with OSA, that number jumps to over 31%. That's a tenfold increase. The connection is undeniable. Our primary clue points directly to this underlying disorder. The investigation now expands. The acidic damage in the mouth was just the initial crime scene. The true culprit, OSA, has been inflicting damage far beyond that throughout the entire body. The damage isn't contained. What starts as an airway collapse in your throat, it ripples outwards, creating a whole network of destruction. We're talking about systemic inflammation, cardiovascular impact, and chronic stress. This is no longer a local matter. It's a systemic crisis. Following the molecular trail reveals exactly how this happens. Every time breathing stops, your body is starved of oxygen, a state called intermittent hypoxia. This stress activates systemic inflammatory pathways. Think of it like your body's alarm system just blaring all night long, flooding your system with inflammatory markers that cause damage far from the original site. And the list of associated crimes is long, and it's severe. Beyond just cavities, we see a heightened risk of periodontal disease, teeth grinding known as bruxism, and, most alarmingly, a really significant cardiovascular impact. That nightly struggle for air puts immense strain on your heart and your entire system. And perhaps the most unsettling part of this entire investigation is realizing this isn't a new crime. This has a long, silent history. This quote is chilling. Medical professionals report that patients are often completely unaware that this destructive pattern has been repeating itself night after night for years, sometimes even decades. The damage has just been accumulating silently. Every morning with a dry mouth, every unrestful night, every moment of daytime fatigue, the clues were always there, waiting to be noticed, waiting for an investigator to finally piece them together.
That dry mouth in the morning isn't just a nuisance, it's a critical piece of evidence. It's your body's silent alarm. The only question that remains is, now that you know what to look for, will you listen?